Hey Phoenixes, I am back. I know I've been away for a little while, and I wanted to give you guys a little story about where I've been and why I took a break. I've been in litigation with my ex for contempt of a restraining order. My ex, who was living with me, the one who was secretly married, if you've listened to my stories from the beginning, you'll hear, that I was with this psychopath who had a secret marriage and then was cheating on me, and he stole my money, and he had stolen my money, and I finally threw him out, and he was acting real sneaky. He was always acting really sneaky with his phone, and I'm like, there's got to be another woman. That's why he keeps sneaking around with his phone. So he kept sneaking to my bedroom to go and talk to this woman on his phone, and I came in one night, and he threw his phone across the bed, and I'm like, he had stolen my money like a week before that, and I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with this guy. I didn't feel safe with him anymore. I didn't trust him anymore. And I'm like, when he threw his phone across the bed like that, it just confirmed that he was hiding something. And I trusted my gut. I'm like, you just need to get out of my house. I don't want to see you anymore. I can't stand feeling like this, living this way, not knowing what's going on with you. And I don't feel like you're telling me the truth. Just get out. And I hope she's worth it. Whoever she is, I hope she's worth it. Just get out. So he begged and he cried and he pleaded, but he ended up leaving that night. And he spent the next 3 to 4 weeks stalking me, coming to my house, begging for me back. And I would block his phone, and then he would call on his work phone, and I blocked that phone. And then he called on his parents' phone, and I blocked that phone. And he kept showing up to my house, so I eventually went down and got filed for a restraining order. And the first pre-trial I didn't attend because I was still so distraught. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And he was starting to leave me alone. He had sent me some kind of message. He started sending me selfies, is what he sent me. He started sending me selfies. And I just had this feeling, I'm like, I think he's putting these selfies up on dating sites. So I ended up seeing him because I wanted to talk to him about what was going on. And he ended up breaking down in my bathroom, saying that all men cheat. I'm like, okay, I think he's admitted that he's cheated. And he agreed to let me see his phone. But by that time, I didn't want to see his phone because I was pretty sure he went through it and erased everything. And I'm like, I don't want to get back together because I found out he went through my phone. He had hacked my phone and was monitoring me and impersonating me. And I'm like, you did this. You messed with all these people in my phone. And these were a bunch of men. He was contacting men in my phone and pretending to be me and having intimate liaisons with him. And then he would pretend like I wasn't there, and he would see if these men would just be with him. So I knew something was really off with this guy. I knew he was probably secretly bisexual, which I'm fine with. It's just, I don't like it when people keep it hidden and then they hack your phone and pretend like they're you so that they can have secret, intimate conversations with men as you. That's just not cool. That's very abusive. And so I told him I didn't want to get back together. I didn't want to see his phone. I didn't want to know because I'm pretty sure he went through it and deleted everything. And I had him leave again. And then I finally went down and I filed for the restraining order because he still wouldn't leave me alone. And at the pretrial date, I didn't go because he started leaving me alone at this point. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's seeing someone. And he had bought a car for me to drive. But the thing with psychopaths or narcissistic people, any tie that you have to them, they will literally use against you to get back to you. So you have to be really careful. You have to cut all ties with these people because they'll use anything to get to you. So I ended up going no contact, but I was driving around in this car that he let me drive. And I ended up, after about 3 months of not talking to him, I ended up breaking no contact to talk to him about this car. I wanted to know if I could service this car, get the tires checked, and he said that I could. And I asked him if he could write me out something that it was okay for me to drive this car. And he's like, well, you can just use this letter that I just sent you. And things started escalating. He had told me he had gotten a new apartment and and I congratulated him on the new apartment because that's something I wanted him to do. I noticed what he was doing. He was jumping from woman to woman. He jumped from his marriage to me, even though he said he was divorced for a year. I somehow never thought that he was divorced for a whole year. I found out he was actually secretly still married, but that's besides the point because I ended up breaking down and contacting what I thought was his ex-wife. I'm like, what is wrong with this man? He stole from her and cheated on her and did all these things too. But that's what helped me stay away, is actually contacting her and finding out that he was secretly married, and he had a pattern of taking advantage of and abusing women. So we started talking about the car, and as we started talking, he started getting like really, things just progressed as I broke no contact like they usually do with these types of men. He started wanting to get intimate with me again. So after breaking no contact, he wanted to start being intimate with me again. But yet he didn't tell me that he was living with a girl or that he had her pregnant. So I kind of entertained this for a second, and then he got really nasty with me. He started telling me that he wanted me to be intimate with him with other men, and that he wanted me to be intimate with him with other women. And I'm just not into that. I want something healthy and good just with myself and my partner. And that's when I decided, like, this person is no good. He's probably living with a woman. I kind of just had a feeling. He probably is, and he's not telling me. And just because he's been such a liar since I've known him. And I just decided, like, no, you need to go down and get that restraining order, because I needed to stay away from him. I didn't trust him, and I didn't feel good not having some type of boundary between us, because I just knew no good was going to come out of that. So I actually went down for the next pretrial, and I was granted the restraining order. And I put on there that he wasn't allowed to try to hack my accounts, since he did hack my account. He hacked my Facebook, and he was talking to all these men on my Facebook as me, trying to have intimate conversations with them. And he would take them on these crazy scenarios with me and him in different situations. And then he would have these situations with him not there anymore. So I just knew, like, this guy is just, something's off with him. Something's off with him, and I can't fix it. Only he can fix himself. So I was granted the restraining order, and I put on there that he couldn't hack my accounts anymore. Well, as months went by, I found out that he had gotten someone pregnant, because paternity papers came to my house, and they were looking for him through prior residents. They addressed the envelope as prior resident, and they were looking for him to go after paternity, so that he could pay money. She was probably getting help through the state, and he wasn't paying, so they wanted to get their money back. So I was granted the restraining order, and then months later, I started finally seeing someone else. And I was being, public about seeing this other person, and he actually had come to my house, and he looked in my window. After I was intimate with this new person, I think he wanted to spy on me and catch me with this other person, because he had that fantasy of me being with another man. And he also tried to hack my phone again. So he tried to hack my phone. I got a Google alert that someone was trying to log into my phone. So I'm like, okay, he's not supposed to be doing this. This was against the restraining order. And then about another week after that, I put a public post up that I had forgiven myself, and I didn't need his apology, that I had forgiven myself for that I even was with someone who was like that. And either he was using his wife's account, or his wife came onto my page to put a laugh react on that post. So I'm like, okay, this ain't right. So I reported it to the court that this is what he was doing. He was trying to hack my account, that he came to my house, and that someone using his new wife's profile was they were both stalking my channels and my social media. That's what it seemed like. It was either he was doing it, or they were both doing it. So I reported this to the courts, and I actually went to see a lawyer. And I told the lawyer what was happening, and she's like, this is really crappy what he did to you. It was really wrong, and it's abusive. But honestly, the court's just not going to do much. They're probably just going to tell him to either quit, or there's just not enough proof that he has done this. You either have to have video evidence. And she was telling me about these stories, about all these horrible things that are happening to women, and she has a really hard time getting the courts to do anything about it. Much worse things, like them being physically assaulted. So she's like, I really recommend you just drop this case and just go on with your life. And And the one thing she told me as I was leaving her office, better boyfriends, 2026. And she's like, you're just going to be wasting your money, wasting your time. So just, try to forget this guy and try to ignore him when he tries to do this stuff. So, I took her advice. I actually went down and dropped my complaint to the courts that he's contempt of the restraining order. And yeah, this is going to be my last post about him. I feel the one lesson I take away from this whole thing is that the courts won't really protect you. And I'm just learning not to report because, unless you're covered in bruises and you have video evidence of them physically assaulting you, the courts just don't really do much to protect victims. They just don't. That's what I've learned this whole lesson. So, I'm dropping my complaint and I'm just going to move on with my life. So yeah, I feel really sorry for this new wife of his, that he was willing to cheat on her while she was pregnant and that she's now stuck with him. I would never want to be with someone who is acting in these ways to any woman. It's just not right. And yeah, I am not going to speak about him anymore. That's my, I'm just going to move on. I'm going to find better things for myself. I have a lot of good people in my life now who are helping me move forward in my life, and that's what I'm going to focus on, just moving forward. So yeah, that's kind of why I took a little time away, just to focus on putting a nail in this final chapter. And, I just hope that this person will leave me alone and that I can be at peace for everything that happened. Now from now on, moving forward, I'm going to listen to my gut. When something feels wrong about a person, it's probably something is really wrong with that person. So yeah. All right, Phoenix says, I just wanted to share the crazy story about where I've been, and I'm back on to better things. Things have been really good in my life now, and I'm really excited for my future. But yeah, wanted to share my story. All right, love you all. Keep rising. Bye.